What is up, everybody? I'm Ant, and I'm joined by my co-host
Carlos Kirby and Cool.
Carlos Caribbean Cool, keeping it cool in the Caribbean slash New York concrete jungle
Yeah,
where
you
dreams
gotta give
are.
people my location.
Send me your location. Let's focus on the. Well, I
How's
mean,
it over there in Connecticut?
hey, that's totally fine. Represent CTCDTZ, you know me. Where you be at money. Well, I mean, listen, the island of New York's an island, right? Yeah. So the island of New York is very populated. So I'm pretty sure it would take a lot of people and a lot of where Carlos is to find you. Anyways, uh, yes, Carlos is in New York. I'm in Connecticut, the tri-state area, right? I don't know.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know. We're like actually New England, right? No, I'm New England. I don't know. We're just yeah, we're the East, Northeast. That's where we're at. But you guys are hopefully all over the world, and you're here not to hear about our where we live and about the climate or where we're from. You're here to hear our review and thoughts on WWE Extreme Rules 2022 from October 8th, 2022. It was a epic show. It was the first time I think they said since 2011 that every match on the card was like had a stipulation to it. Um, and there's only 6 matches. We gave our predictions. We'll reveal the winner of that later on in the show. But let's dive right into it and start with the first match of the night. It was the good old fashioned Donnybrook match. And we saw the Brawling Brutes. For those of you who don't know, that's the team of Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch taking on Imperium. And that is the team of the WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. In very European. We should just call this match the Battle of the Europeans, World War III.
World War Three. Yep.
Right. I mean, it was a brawl. I mean, to say World War III would be an understatement. These 6 men, their bodies are definitely in pain after last night. Let's talk about some of the moments from this match. Butch drop kicks a shillelagh in the face of Ludwig Kaiser to start off the match. Uh, Imperium's able to nail an Imperial Bomb to Ridge Holland outside of the ring. Sheamus tosses Vinci and Kaiser into the railing. There's a moment where early on in the match, Sheamus chops. I think he chops Butch and the railing just breaks apart. And um Sheamus is in control. Sheamus hits a power slam to Gunther. And then he nails 10 beats of the Bowery. And then the Brutes jump in and attack Gunther with Sheamus. That was a massive assault to Gunther. Sheamus then hits a white noise, and Gunther's able to take control again, nail a double shotgun drop kick to the Brutes. Sheamus nails an Irish Curse and a Cloverleaf. However, Kaiser hits Sheamus in the back with the shillelagh. Uh, Butch ends up nailing a moonsault off the barrels onto the opponents outside. Gunther attacks Sheamus with the shillelagh and he gets a 2 count. The Brutes attack the fingers of Gunther, and Sheamus nails Gunther with the shillelagh. Shillelagh. Uh, and then Sheamus hits a Celtic cross to Gunther through the announce table outside. The Brutes hold Giovanni Vinci, and Sheamus nails a bro kick to Vinci. And the Brawling Brutes get the victory in an all-out brawl. I heard that Abyss, actually former TNA wrestler, produced this match. And in our predictions, Carlos, you're the only one who believed in the Brawling Brutes. So give me your thoughts on that match as an opener. Did you like it?
It was a good way to start off. I enjoyed like the fast paced action, like moves going on. Like there was really like no slow parts during the match. I really enjoyed the part when Sheamus was hitting the 10 beats of the Baron or whatever you call it, and then like when Walter was down, they all ganged up on him. They all
Yes, that was a
ganged up
sick.
and started beating the crap out of him in the little corner right there. I
I
thought that was
love
pretty
that.
funny. But yeah, there was some great spots in the match. I'm glad that they got the win because I feel like they've been losing a lot lately, that team. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like every time I watch Sheamus, the Brutes, and Gunther and Imperium, I always feel tired because I feel like for them, like they are giving it their all. Like,
They always put their all out there.
yes,
Oh,
that Sheamus's freaking chest is bloody. The night after it was bloody before.
one
Like,
thing, Giovanni Vinci is such a great wrestler.
oh,
Like I
dude,
noticed, like during that match, he's so good.
the
Like wow.
athleticism, the way he's able to do the springboard moves. Yeah, and he's very quick too. He comes very fast paced, and he's a bigger guy too. It's not like he's a
He's been in the Indies,
cruiserweight.
right? He was probably in the Indies before this.
I think so. I know he did spend a lot of time at NXT. Like he was there with Imperium for a while, and he started out, I think, a part of the Cruiserweight Classic. So I do think he was a part of the Indies. Maybe he competed in Italy. But he did spend some time in NXT, quite some time. And they actually just moved him up at Clash at the Castle. So yeah. He had a title match, I think, against Carmelo Hayes. That was really good at, I don't know if it was in your house. I don't know where it was. Might have been Heat Wave. I don't know. But yeah, so yes, Giovanni Vinci, don't look out for him. My question for you, and this is a question I'm going to probably ask you throughout the night, is this a match that you would watch again if someone were to say, top 20 matches of 2020? And be fair, would you tell someone to watch this match?
Maybe not this match. What I'll probably watch over is the crown is the
Well, tell
is
us when
the
we get there. Tell us when we get there because I want to be
okay.
surprised. Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say to watch this match for 2022. I would say not on this card, but if you're going to talk about Sheamus and Gunther, I'd say their Clash at the Castle match.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say before
Oh,
you
go
interrupt.
ahead, definitely say that
Yeah,
then. All right, go ahead.
no, well, yeah, I would probably watch that match over
Yeah,
the
that was just a
Clash of the
good
Clash
match.
of the Castle one.
And it's funny because if you notice after the match, the Brewster kept saying banger after banger after banger after.
Yeah, it seems like the fans never catch on.
And Sheamus said that those two guys revitalized his career and made him have fun again, kind of like a whole
Really?
Randy Orton thing. Yeah, he just posted it was posted on Facebook. I saw he tweeted that. So these guys are having a good time. Sheamus is killing it, Imperium is killing it, and we're killing it. But to continue killing it, we have to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to cover the rest of the card. We have Edge in action, Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan, Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre, Bayley and Bianca Belair, and the Fight Pit, Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. We're going to cover all of that, and we're going to talk about our plan for our special Halloween episode. A lot to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yo, I'm Ant, and you're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things pro wrestling related.
What's up, guys? Carlos for being cool here. And you almost forgot to mention, make sure they follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever podcasts are streaming.
I sure didn't. I wouldn't want to do that. So thank you, Carlos. Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe now. Let's get back to the show, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, this is our Extreme Rules 2022 review. We just covered the Donnybrook match, and we are back to cover the rest of the show. Quickly, just to talk about this, The Miz is seen backstage, and he's on the phone with his wife, Maryse. They're going to have a special birthday celebration this Monday on Raw, and he's just trying to make sure everything is in order. He says he's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time. And he's going to talk to Triple H tonight about He Who Must Not Be Named. And he sees the Philadelphia mascot backstage, and the mascot gives The Miz a shirt, and The Miz pretty much steps on it. And I think he's a little bit nervous because Dexter Lumis attacked him last week on Raw in a mascot costume. So Miz is looking a little nervous here tonight. But we have more from that later on. Our next match of the night is for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. The SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan defending against Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. Both women asked for it and they got it. So here are the notes from this match. Before I talk about it, I think, and I could be wrong, it looks like Liv was trying to dress up like the Joker a little bit. That was my thought.
Yeah, no, it did seem like that too. I love her gear. Looked great.
Like the little cool like question mark on the back of her jacket when she came down. Very, very cool. I liked it. So here's the match. There's a lot of back and forth action to start. Ronda traps Liv in the apron and nails her, with different blows to the head. Liv then uses the fire extinguisher on Ronda. Ronda hits a Piper's Pit outside of the ring. Liv then jumps off the steps. However, Ronda nails Liv Morgan's chest with a bat shot, which say your prayers, Aaron Judge. She's coming for you. Ronda Rousey then whips Liv with her black belt and nails Liv with different bat shots. I was surprised that Liv was able to take those shots. They looked like she was swinging hard. That's what he said. Anyways, Ronda with a step-up knee, and then Ronda chokes Liv Morgan across the ropes using her legs to her advantage. However, Liv hits Ronda with different chair shots and hits a code red with the chair. Still gets a 2. Liv then lands its flying senton to Ronda through a table. That gets a 2 count. Ronda goes for a submission. However, Liv is able to powerbomb Ronda. And the end comes after Ronda applies a bicep crusher using the table for leverage. And Liv passes out. And we have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. And that is Ronda Rousey. Quick note to add after the match. The commentators mentioned this, and we saw it on camera. Liv was smiling after losing to Ronda. So, Carlos, what are your thoughts? Oh, before we go into the thoughts, with that match, you were the only one that thought Liv was going to win. Tyler and I both thought Ronda was going to walk out of the pay-per-view champion, and she did. So, what are your thoughts on the match? I know I heard you off the record, off air, your thoughts, but tell the fans and listeners your thoughts. And what do you think about her smile after? What does that mean?
Well, the match was okay. I just hated the fact that I feel like Ronda dominated way too much than she was supposed to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Knowing Ronda, she's very selfish and she feels like she does things the way she wants to. I can't stand her. I feel like they Liv wrong having her lose this match. Only thing, it kind of just pisses me off saying that they prefer somebody who barely even cares about the company and just and doesn't even want to be there for somebody who loves what she does and wanted to be the champion since she was a little kid. And then you could tell that belt meant everything to her. Honestly, it's just I don't know, where WWE's head was at when they decided to end this match.
I did feel bad, as I was watching Ronda hold the title. I know it sounds corny, but I did kind of feel bad. I was like, well, wait, Liv's not champion anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very sad to see the way it ended like that. But she didn't tap out though. She passed though. That's one
She
thing
passed out. Yep.
I'm proud of her for that.
Yep.
Um,
I think she also gave, this is probably, in my opinion, one of Ronda's better matches. I mean, Ronda's had some good matches and some really bad ones, but this, I think, and
all
that is thanks to
all I really have to say is fuck you, Ronda, and I hope I feel like this might have been like a double heel turn.
Yeah. So
This might have been. That's what I'm saying. Like the smile might have been like maybe a double, maybe a heel turn for Liv coming soon.
who do you think is the next challenger then for, I mean, do you think it's going to be
For
Liv?
Ronda?
Think Charlotte Flair might show up and challenge Ronda again? I mean,
I think Charlotte might be
for a while.
For Ronda, I think it might be Shayna.
Okay, so you think it's gonna be Shayna's gonna be like, yo, I'm calling you out type thing.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you think that Shayna might
But Liv, I think Liv deserves a rematch.
Okay, so you think she should be the first challenger.
Yeah, she deserves a rematch. That was kind of It just pissed me off so bad the way I really thought Liv was gonna retain, honestly.
So again, I asked you this with the first match. Would you tell people to go back and watch this match for matches of 2022, or would you skip this match?
I would watch it over.
Wow, you would watch this one over the Donnybrook.
Yeah, no, I would watch just because it's Liv Morgan.
Okay.
And I feel like the match met up to its expectations. It's just I feel like Ronda definitely got like I feel like maybe they told Ronda like to have Liv get like some advantage in there, but like Ronda was like, "Fuck you, I'm not gonna do this. I'll do things how I want to, knowing the way she is." Because I feel like she dominated way too much than she was supposed to.
I have a
Honestly,
thought that you might not agree with.
those punches to the gut that she did was looked really bad. Like when she had her trapped in the ring apron, like when she was like punching her in the stomach, that looked really like it looked like painful. And then like she had her with a bat, and then she tied her against the ring post, all that stuff. I feel like that was not supposed to happen.
Well, I
To be
think
honest.
my opinion, and this is going to be maybe not a good one in your eyes, but I think for it being that there's only two women matches on the card, it was pretty lackluster. And I know Ronda said that they were going to use Lego pieces in this match, but AEW already did that. And so they didn't want to look like they were copying them. But I do think the bat shots were cool. I think that, like you said, the shots when she was in the apron were impressive. I just feel like, and I don't blame Liv for this because Liv has had, remember her match against Becky? I mean, Liv
Mm.
has had some great matches, and there's other people that she's competed against and she's had good matches with.
I was enjoying her title reign though.
I
Honestly, I
was
don't feel like
too,
I feel like
but
I feel like it shouldn't have ended so quick.
I think WWE kind of fucked themselves over in making her tap out. I think once she tapped out, fans kind of
No, but I
said,
mean they were getting over that. Honestly, like once like literally like she was getting people were getting over her again. She was getting on their good side again. She was doing good work. And
no,
then
I
like they just
agree.
wanna
I
I
agree with
don't
you.
know.
But I also think, again, kind of like this isn't SmackDown, but Paul Heyman was talking to Logan Paul this past week on SmackDown, and he said to him, WWE brought you here so that more eyes and more attention can
Don't
come.
compare Logan Paul to Liv, please. Come on, don't even.
No, no,
Don't
I'm saying Logan. No, pause. Listen, let me hang on. Listen, pause. He said to Logan Paul, he said more eyes are gonna come on with you being here. With Ronda, that's what they see her as, like a piggy bank. They see her as money. And you gotta remember, where are they going to next month? They're going to Saudi Arabia. And listen, I'm not saying she's gonna be a one-trick pony, but I honestly feel like they're doing things like, remember when they made Jinder Mahal WWE champion because initially they were going to go to India, but then Brock Lesnar didn't want to fight him, and then I think they had him drop the title to AJ Styles, I think, or something like that. But I feel like WWE does a lot of stuff to continue making themselves money in their eyes. I don't believe this, and I know you don't believe this. They think that Ronda Rousey will make them more money as champion than Liv Morgan. I don't. I mean,
I just can't get behind someone that talks so much shit about the company and that she obviously doesn't want to be there. Her promo suck ass.
but I do
Um,
think, Carlos, I will say, I think a lot of it is her building, trying to keep up kayfabe, if you know what I mean. Kayfabe, do you know what kayfabe is?
Not really, no.
That's cool. It's fine because I didn't know about it until I was a little bit older. And this is for other people who don't know. Kayfabe is basically when you make the storylines like they're outside. Like, you know how wrestlers, basically wrestlers aren't the way they are. Like Riddle is like a big smoker, but like um these wrestlers aren't who their characters are. Who they're portraying to be aren't who they.
No. I feel like Ronda's that same exact
I
asshole in
no,
real life.
I think in some points yes, but
She
I
is.
do
Oh no,
think.
100%. Don't even try to defend her.
Bro,
She
look,
she
I'm
she.
not defending her, but for example, remember there's this, and this is why I think there is a little bit of fakeness to it. Remember when there was Total Divas and she was on it, And there was this whole thing where she was upset with Sonya Deville because Sonya talked shit about her, kicking her. And then they did this whole thing where then they were on Total Divas, and Sonya's like, well, why did you say that? And all of the women have said that Total Divas was fake and scripted. So I think there's some, yeah, she probably is an asshole, but, and I do agree with you, she probably doesn't respect the business as much as like a Liv Morgan would. But I do think that she is a fan. She's gone to WrestleManias before signing with the
She's just
company.
there for the money. That's
Oh,
all
yes,
she's
but I
there
mean,
for.
everybody is, if you
She's
think of it.
not.
I mean, most people are. That's why Sasha Banks didn't really get along with Alexa Bliss, because Sasha Banks thought that because Alexa Bliss was a newer fan of wrestling, she didn't really know much about the Hardy Boys. She wasn't really a wrestling fanatic as Sasha was, and Sasha felt the way you felt, like you're not a wrestling fan, you shouldn't be here. But to be fair, there's a lot of athletes like Roman Reigns. He was a football player. Like if you say that you
Oh,
have to
wrestling's
be
in
a
his blood.
wrestling fan, I get
Wrestling's
it's in
in
his
his blood.
blood, but he could have easily said, you know what, I don't want to do wrestling, like you just because like my grandfather owns a shoe store, my father doesn't work there, you could do your own thing. And for a while, a lot of them will say, I didn't want to do this. We're talking too much about Ronda. I agree with you. I think that she doesn't deserve to be
I am no,
champion.
my opinion is not going to change for Ronda at all. I
No,
mean,
no, no,
whatever.
no. I agree with you. I don't think she deserves to be champion, but I don't necessarily. I think she does try to make us hate her, and I think that it's a good thing because I love kayfabe. I
And
think
she honestly, I feel like she doesn't want to be there. I can't. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
agree. Listen, I totally, I 100% agree
It
with.
just makes me. It just gets me so angry thinking somebody with that WWE would choose somebody who barely even gives a shit in this place. If the door shut down tomorrow, she wouldn't give a shit. But
But to be fair,
somebody like the Liv Morgan would that would probably yeah, she would freak out.
I get that, but also though, to be fair, Carlos, and I'm not saying this in a sense of because I think Liv Morgan is better a million times than Ronda Rousey, but if you're scoring someone and someone's taking a test and this person gets all of the test questions right and that person gets all the test questions wrong, it doesn't matter where they're from, what they do, how long they've been there, why they're taking the test. You got a million points, you got zero. I think that's how this business is. They don't look at so much of how far. I mean, look, if they've done that, then they would have made Liv Morgan champion. Liv Morgan has paid her dues for a long time and she deserves it. But in their eyes, they look at it more as what can make us more money. And to them, which I don't agree with, they're always going to say Ronda Rousey because she's done MMA. Was the only woman in the Hall of Fame of the UFC. Like they think most people know who Ronda is. And to them, they want to make more people get on their screen. I'm like you, whereas I think you should push the people who have been here, like fuck other people. Like if you're not a wrestling fan, then fuck you. Like not no offense, but like I'm more like cater to the actual wrestling fans and someone because the fans want Liv as champion. You said it yourself. But WWE is more about what will make us money. And just because we
I
like
feel
someone,
like Liv was making the company a lot of money with the merch sales she's been getting.
she was, but I don't know. I don't know the sales. I do think
Especially after she won the belt.
I
People were
do
like,
think a lot of it does have to do with them going to Saudi Arabia because remember, the king of Saudi Arabia thought that Yokozuna was alive and requested him to fight. So I think a lot of it is that okay, we're going to Saudi Arabia next month. Who do they want to see as champion? Oh, they know Ronda Rousey. They're gonna want her. I'm telling you. But anyways, we have a lot
but
more.
if this all backfires when they go to Saudi Arabia and she gets booed out the building.
I hope so. I mean, she got booed after she won, So I mean, but
Yeah,
again,
honestly, I don't know. It's just it's very. This is the only thing that I really had to say bad about the show.
the
That's
one
probably the
thing I
only thing.
will say, she's doing something right, Carlos, because we spent a good 20, 30 minutes talking about her. So she's doing something right. So let's move on though. Because our time is up again on this one, but it's okay. All right. So we have our strap match next. And I was really looking forward to this one. Drew McIntyre taking on Karrion Kross with Scarlett. And Scarlett was looking really good tonight. Blah, 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 blah. Um,
Yeah, no, so it's a pay-per-view dress to impress.
yeah, she was like looking like Sable kind of.
No, she was
So
looking good. She was looking good. I can't. It's one thing though. I can't believe a man like Karrion Kross. He's not really the like no homo. He's not really like the best looking guy. Like I'm surprised like how Scarlett ended up with him.
I'm surprised she's not with me. I ask that question every single day.
And aren't you like no?
I'm a married spud. I'm a married spud. So Scarlett before the match, before Drew can even put on his or before Cross can even put on his strap, Scarlett pulls the strap and Karrion Kross attacks Drew McIntyre while he's strapped in. The two fight in the crowd. Drew ends up suplexing Karrion Kross outside of the ring. Drew nails a huge backbreaker to Karrion Kross onto the apron, and then he ends up applying the strap onto Karrion Kross's uh, wrist. Drew then whips Kross's back with the strap many times. Scarlett gets in Drew's face, and Kross sends Drew McIntyre into the ring post and runs Drew's shoulder into the post for a third time. Kross then nails a flatliner on top of the announce table. Kross then ties up Drew McIntyre with the strap, and he whips him across many times. And Scarlett screams, more, more, more. Scarlett was really getting her money's worth tonight. Kross then whips Drew's back. Drew then nails a clothesline, a belly to belly, a neck breaker, spine buster. This all gets Drew a 2 count. Both men whip one another, and Drew is able to nail a future shock DDT. Scarlett gets in Drew's face and sprays him with pepper spray. And then Kross nails the cross hammer, and Karrion Kross is your winner. For that match, we all picked Kross to win. What did you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did say that. I'm sorry. I thought that I didn't ask you about if the Liv match was worth the watch, and you did say it was because Liv was in it. Okay, so for this match, what did you think? Did you think the right man? I mean, we did think the right man won. Was it all that you expected it to be? And yeah, so go with that. What do you think?
I think I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the match met up all to expectations. From the beginning to like Karrion Kross was playing mind games with Drew not putting up the strap. Like he kept throwing it onto the floor and then like he picking it up again, picking it back up, throwing it back down. To like the ending to like where Scarlett used the I know people already like when people interfere in matches, but I feel like this was like a perfect ending, showing Scarlett that Scarlett has some power too. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was brutal. Like I haven't seen Drew McIntyre manhandle like that in a very long time.
Yeah.
And you can tell Drew McIntyre was like really I think he legitimately got hurt. Like his shoulder or something must have been like messed up. Like the referee was like, do you want me to stop? And then he said no, no, no. But he looked like he was in legitimate pain. Drew this was early on in the match too that this happened. But it was a good match. I'm glad that the Karrion Kross got his first big win. We just gotta see where it goes from now, from here, from
I mean,
what goes on here.
He's got a huge ace up his sleeve with Scarlett. Had Scarlett not gotten involved, I don't think Kross could have won.
Yeah, he could have.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, she sprayed him with pepper spray. I mean, come on, that's a lot.
I feel like if Scarlett didn't interfere, if Karrion Kross could have won, but. Didn't you root for Karrion Kross? Why are you saying that he couldn't have won?
Well, because we'll never know right now because Scarlett got involved.
Karrion Kross did most of the work. I mean.
Oh, yes. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Karrion Kross couldn't win, but I'm saying as of right now, we'll never know because Scarlett got involved. But I do like Scarlett, obviously. Duh.
Listen though. This match, everything's legal. I mean, you can't say shit. This was completely legal.
Oh, listen,
they never said that nobody.
I wanted him to.
They never said that nobody can interfere in the match.
I'm just saying,
it's not like they knocked the referee down so that she could do it without the referee looking. She did it right.
Put Scarlett for their next match. Have Scarlett hang out with me.
And this is heel work. You're supposed to hate. We're doing if you don't like any of this match, that's a good thing. He's doing his job. They're both doing their job because he's a heel. They're both heels right now.
Listen, if I was Triple H, like I said before, I would book their next match: Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre. Scarlett is at Anthony Consiglio.
Heels can win by cheating. That's pretty much their character. What the hell?
Well, Like I said, again, Triple H book it. Scarlett's with me at my house. The two of them for
How
fight
many times
101.
has Edge cheated to win in the past? Hmm?
Well, I'm not saying that.
Don't even. Oh, talk about Lita, huh?
I'm happy Cross won. I
Lita.
voted for him to win.
Don't try to flip the script. He had Lita most of his career, and she helped him how many times?
Why would I be mad that Cross won? I'm happy he won.
Don't try to give Cross shit because
Listen, I'm not
he had
giving
his
Cross
lady.
shit. I'm just saying
No,
that
you
we
are giving
never
Cross
know
shit. You just said
unless they have a single
you literally
one-on-one
just said if
match.
it wasn't for Scarlett, he wouldn't have been
He
able to.
wouldn't have. And last night, he wouldn't.
You're talking all this shit, but if it was Edge, you'll be defending Edge to the fucking core.
No, because I would have said the same thing you said. But it's legal because it's no disqualification.
Don't even.
We would have been on different. If it was Edge that won it this way, you would have said there's no feud. But because you like saying, yeah, Bobby Heenan, I'm gonna start calling you.
You gotta give Karrion Kross his fucking credit.
I'm gonna start calling you fucking Jerry Lawler when anytime the fucking
No, I just put you in your place. You know you would have said the same thing if it was Edge.
I straight up would. I would have straight up.
No, you wouldn't.
Depending on the match.
Stop.
Depending on the match, I was. However, I'm happy Cross won.
I would have loved to hear your thoughts back in
because had I not got this,
I would have loved to hear your thoughts.
We wouldn't have time.
2005, 2006 when he had Lita with him. I would have loved to hear what you would say back then, but now it's a whole.
Oh, he was such a cheater back then. Who,
Edge, right? No, but you'll fucking accept it. Oh my god, I love Edge. But now, Karrion Kross uses Scarlett one time during one of his matches.
I think you over exaggerate. I think you start to hear stuff in your head because I didn't say.
No, you literally just said, "Oh, I don't think he would have."
I don't think he would last night. Listen, here's the ending of the match.
Don't be such a crybaby just because he was smart about it.
Listen, pause. Hang on with my thing. Can you hear me? Okay. Listen, here's the ending. Both men whip one another with a strap. Drew McIntyre nails a future shock DDT. Scarlett gets in Drew's face and sprays him with pepper spray. Cross hits a cross. What happened before Scarlett got in the ring?
Scarlett obviously saw that her man Karrion Kross was in some jeopardy, so she stepped in and helped her man. What's the big deal?
So there's no big deal. I'm happy.
This was perfectly legal. Like Lita hasn't done something. Lita hasn't done something like this. Like Lita hasn't done something like this to Edge in the past.
Yes, but it's not happening now. If it happened now, then I would say it. Look at Rhea Ripley. Are you going to talk shit about? Are you going to say something about Rhea Ripley?
With what?
Later on in the night. Oh yeah, later on. You better say the same shit, buddy.
Oh no, Beth Phoenix.
We're gonna talk.
She stepped into something that wasn't her. Wait. Hold on. Let me talk. Hold on. We'll get to that part.
But yeah, you're gonna do it.
Beth Phoenix. Wait. Can I talk? Can you shut up? Beth Phoenix wasn't even part of the storyline. She just pops up out of nowhere.
Oh,
Scarlett's with Karrion Kross all the time.
When you are married one day,
that's his freaking wife.
When you are married one day,
she's there with him She's there with him every step of the way.
Listen,
Beth Phoenix just decides to show up when it's convenient for her.
And some guy, listen, if you're married, okay.
Oh my god.
And some guy kept fucking with your wife, you would beat their ass, correct?
I mean, if I'm not involved in the story, that's her problem.
Carlos, if every time your wife was involved going to the store, okay, and
what does this have to do with Karrion Kross and Scarlett?
No, I'm not talking because I'm talking about Edge.
We haven't even got to that. We haven't even got to the
match. Well, then we'll get there. Well, we have pause. We have less than a minute. Let's end this, and then we'll come right back. We have a lot more to discuss. You also have to tell me if this is a match that you would watch on.
If you liked our Extreme Rules review so far, be sure to check out our NXT Halloween Havoc 2022 review coming at the end of October.
Welcome back. Yes, everybody, definitely check out our next pay-per-view review, which will be NXT Halloween Havoc, October 22nd, 2022. Things are going to get creepy. And speaking about creepy, we'll be having our special Halloween edition of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. That'll be dropping on Halloween with special trick or treat surprise. Something's going to happen, something catastrophic, something that's going to change the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast forever. I promise you. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. So you don't want to miss that. Carlos, you have no idea what it is either, and you're going to be surprised too because it's going to change things. It's going to change things up around here. So things are happening. So get ready for the special trick or treat edition of the
Are we gonna continue with this Edge thing there, or are we gonna move on now? Because I said what I said, and I'm not taking none of it back.
No, I agree. Listen, I think for you, I just wanted to hear my point of that. Like, I'm not mad that Cross won. I'm happy he won.
You're just mad at the ending.
No, I'm not even mad. No, I'm not even mad at the ending. I'm just saying what I hope is.
No. What set me off was when you said Karrion Kross couldn't be. If it wasn't for Scarlett, Karrion Kross wouldn't have been able.
Well, listen, you don't think Drew McIntyre?
Honestly, I do think that he had, but he did because Karrion Kross did dominate most of the match.
Do you think Drew McIntyre is not going to think that?
What?
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying if I'm Drew McIntyre, right, and I know the rules are, yeah, anything can happen 100%. But if I'm being smart and I want a rematch, right, storyline wise, or just in general, if I want a rematch,
sure, he can use that. He can use that excuse.
No, bro, the excuse would be, listen, like, I know this match, there was no rules, anything can happen 100%, but let's see what would happen if she wasn't ringside. Like, that's what I meant by that comment of, like, if she wasn't there, could he have, maybe, I'm not saying he
100% he would have beat Drew McIntyre fair and square if Scarlett wasn't around. I have confidence in Kross.
I hope we get to see that. But I'm glad Scarlett was there.
But you're complaining about all this, but Edge has done the same thing in the past. That's all.
Well, if I did a podcast back in 2006, I would have been saying the same shit.
That's all I'm saying.
You're 10 years old.
You said on multiple occasions you're the biggest fan of Edge. Edge is your favorite superstar.
Listen, yes, now in 2006, John Cena was my dude. Do you really think I was representing Edge at that time?
Yes.
Hey man, John Cena was my dude.
The way you talk about Edge now, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because by the time 2010 hit, me and my grandmother would watch him, and I started to like him. But during the midst of it, when he was John Cena was my dude. I had the foam fingers. John Cena was my favorite at the time as a little kid. So of course I hated Edge. But as time goes on, and you will see. Because over time, Carlos, think about it like this. Next year, the Daniel Bryan winning the WWE title will be 10 years old. So in a couple of years, these guys that you grew up with are gonna get older. And the ones that you hated, you're gonna have a little bit of respect for it because it's like nostalgia to you. Like
I never said I hate Drew. I'm just saying that Karrion Kross doesn't really need Scarlett to win.
You hate Drew, but I'm saying for me, as a kid, I hated Edge. Edge, I despised him because he was
I don't know if I can believe that, honestly. I don't know if I can believe that.
Well, listen, you weren't there, but on my grandmother who passed, Edge was one of my least favorite wrestlers as a kid. Also, when he was with Edge, I respected the matches that he had. But whenever he would have the TLC matches, I would always complain and say, why did he and Christian win? Why didn't the Hardy Boys win? Because Edge and Christian were always the pretty boys. The Hardy Boys were more hardcore. The Dudleys were putting people through tables. So no, but as I get older, I do appreciate those guys because I grew up with them. So even people like the Hurricane, who isn't really anything, I look at him like, oh my God, the Hurricane, he's so cool. And you will too, eventually. You'll see some stupid characters like an Adam Rose in a couple of years. Like, oh, when Adam Rose had the bunny, and you're going to think about stupid shit like that. You weren't that young when it happened, but it's just like a sort of nostalgia thing. I don't think Edge is the greatest wrestler of all time. No, I just think he's one of my top favorites. There's a lot, but no, I do would like to see the two of them go one on one without any outside interference. But do you think
Oh,
this?
that would make that's what makes Karrion Kross a heel. Heel
Yes,
tactics
I
like
get
that.
that,
You're
but it's gonna
supposed.
end up happening. Think about how many matches where they've had wrestlers put hung above the shark cage, or they've had like if she keeps getting involved, they're gonna do a gimmicky thing like that where she's not gonna be able to, and then it will be stupid. Here's the thing: it will be dumb if Drew wins though, because then it will prove that point. I want Cross to beat Drew without her. That's all I'm saying. I want him to beat him twice. I want him to beat Drew with her help and then beat him without her help because Drew is going to say whether or not it's legal, because 100% it is legal. It's a no DQ strap match. She can do whatever she wants. If he had a lady, she could have gotten involved. But he could go and say, okay, he beat me. Can we have a match running again where it's just me and him? And I could be like, yeah, I could say, you know what, you're right. The pay-per-view is Extreme Rules. You got your ass.
I feel like this feud should be over. I think Drew McIntyre needs a major character change. Really like just like over the
I don't
top.
think it's gonna end. I want it to end, but by the way it looked after the match, Drew like got up like and looked mad. I don't think he's done, especially with the way it ended. He's not gonna be done yet. If he beat him fair and and it is fair because it's obviously no rules. But if there was no like I'm saying, I think that's my point too. I think I kind of subconsciously want it to end too, which is why I'm saying like I wish she didn't get involved because I know WWE, they're gonna be like, okay, rematch. And I'm telling you.
I mean, you don't know that though.
Well, my spidey senses are tingling, but let's move on, okay? So we see the Miz on the phone. He's talking to Maurice. The mascot shows up again. Just continuation of the silliness that's been going on all night with the Miz. We then get our next women's match, the Raw Women's title match, the first ever one-on-one women's ladder match. And before the match starts, we see Nikita Lyons in the crowd. Happy to see some NXT faces there. And the match is Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defending against Bayley. We said this off air on the promotional images for the match. Alexa Bliss and Asuka are on that Bianca side, and Damage Control is with Bayley, but we didn't get to see some of those girls, but we'll get to the match and talk about it. So Bayley tosses Bianca Belair into the ladder outside. Bianca is able to continue to jump away from Bayley, and she sends Bayley into a ladder. Bianca nails a body slam onto a ladder and a springboard moonsault. Bayley's able to trap Bianca Belair in a ladder with different punches. Bayley nails a sunset flip to Bianca Belair onto a ladder, which looked very devastating. Bayley sets up a ladder between the steps and the railing, and Bayley nails a flying elbow drop off the apron to Bianca Belair on a ladder. That looked really bad. Bianca nails Bayley's back with a ladder, and then she sets up a ladder. But Bayley's able to kick her off and sending Bianca Belair to the outside. Bayley then takes the hinge from her knee brace. However, Bianca is able to nail a KOD. Bianca climbs, but Damage Control runs down to the ring and they attack Bianca. Bianca is able to do an impressive maneuver. She's able to hit a double KOD to Damage Control. Goodbye, Damage Control. Bayley sends Bianca to a ladder and hits a rose plant. Both women end up climbing. Bayley pulls Bianca Belair's braid and Bianca falls, but immediately Bianca runs back and nails Bayley with her braid, knocking Bayley off. Bayley has a ladder in hands, but Bianca is able to nail a KOD to Bayley, and Bayley lands on top of that ladder. And Bianca climbs and grabs the Raw Women's Championship. Carlos, I didn't ask you this question about the Cross one, so let me ask you that. Would you recommend people watching that one again for matches of 2022?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That man, I think it was worth the watch over. You watch it over again.
The fucking whips, like we talked. Let's just go back to that match really quick. I know we just talked about this match, but like the shots that they were taking. I mean, all of these men and women were having a horrible night.
Yeah, I know. Extreme Rules, obviously. Yeah, it should be like that. That's how it should be.
Yes, sir. So, did you think? So we all see who you and I thought Bayley was going to win. Tyler thought Bianca. So obviously, the wrong woman won in our eyes. Maybe not so. Maybe the woman that we thought was going to win didn't win. But what do you think about the match? Do you think Bianca's the right winner? And would you recommend this match to people who are watching the best of 2022?
Even though I thought Bayley was gonna win, I'm satisfied with Bianca winning. I don't have a problem with her. I have no beef with Bianca. I think she's great. She's a great athlete. She's on her prime right now. She's doing great work. I just felt like it was Bayley's time. I just felt like it was, but I guess not yet. That KOD though at the ending, it looked terrible. That looked like Bayley seriously got hurt, and you could see on her mouth like when they put the camera back on her, it looked like she's bleeding really bad. Honestly, it looked worse than when Joey Mercury took that ladder bump and like his whole nose like started thinging. It looked similar to that, honestly.
Do you think that like and I guess I'm asking you to tell you my opinion. Like I don't think this was a great ladder match though.
I thought it was really good for a women's ladder match for a first timer. I think it was very good. They could
Yes,
have
for
done
the
better.
first time, yes. I'll give it that. For the first time, yes. Yes. For the
They
first
could have done
time,
better. I agree with you, but it was a good ladder match. They were taking bumps and stuff.
for the first time,
Maybe I feel like maybe you wish that it was like more dangerous, like more bumps that they took, like going through ladders and stuff.
I
Maybe you
don't know.
wanted
I think because for me, because it was the first, I was hoping that they were going to do more innovative stuff and show that, like
it
I
technically
also
wasn't
heard,
perfect. I mean, there were money they have been money in the bank matches that in women's ladder matches that happened. So I mean,
I
it
did
wasn't really
though that the ladders were smaller in height too, that they weren't as big.
in the beginning. Bianca got this big ass ladder in the beginning. I was like, holy shit.
Well, would you recommend people watching this one again?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
really.
sad because this was like this was the only other women's match of the card, and I honestly like their matches last year better than this one, honestly. And maybe it's because the ladder was involved and they couldn't really have too much time like wrestling each other because you have to use the ladder. So maybe
Mhm.
that element changed it up, but
I
um
feel like maybe they were being rushed because they were like other matches that they wanted to get to.
yeah, maybe possibly. All right.
I think the I quit match took up the most time.
Yeah. Um We then see footage of outside the arena. We see different fans, and we see a fan taking a picture with a white rabbit, which we'll get to. The next match is the match that you talked about, the I Quit match, Edge versus Finn Balor. Finn comes down in a really cool mask. There's like a bunch of spikes on it. He has his new theme song, which is a mix of his old one, which I think is very cool. So let's dive right into this match. Edge nails a swinging neck breaker and he punches Finn Balor. Finn drop kicks Edge's knee, and then Balor jumps on Edge's leg. Balor applies a figure four, but Edge is able to reverse it. Balor slams Edge's head onto the announce table many times. Edge sends Balor into the post. However, Balor is able to nail a sling blade outside of the ring. Edge runs Finn Balor right through the timekeeper's guard railing, which was intense to see. The men fight in the crowd, and Edge suplexes Finn Balor on the concrete floor. Edge runs at Finn Balor with a hockey stick and hits him with it. Edge applies a crossface using the stick on top of the kickoff table. That looked really fucking sick to see. Edge slams Balor onto the steps in the crowd. Balor then tosses Edge into a wall three times. Edge then launches Balor onto the concrete overhang. This is all happening in the crowd. Balor then hits Edge with a chair shot to the chest twice. Balor rams a chair into the back of Edge and into his chest. Again, many chair shots to Edge's back. Balor applies a crossface. Edge sends Balor into a chair set up in the corner. Edge hits Balor's legs with chair shots, and he drives a chair into the knee of Balor. Edge applies the educator. However, Damian Priest runs down. Dominic then grabs Balor, and Edge is able to nail a spear to Finn Balor through the ropes, and Finn lands on Dominic and Damian Priest. That's when Rhea Ripley gets involved, and she handcuffs Edge to the top rope, and she has a key. Judgment Day is able to come down to the ring and attack Edge viciously. Balor grabs two kendo sticks and they nail Edge with kendo stick shots. Rey Mysterio runs out and he nails Damian Priest with a chair. He takes out Balor and he nails a 619 to Damian Priest. However, that bastard, the son, Dominic, attacks his father.
No.
He runs Rey into the railing and the ring post. He stomps at Rey.
Props to you, Dominic, by the way.
And then Balor whips Edge with the kendo stick again. Beth Phoenix then attacks Judgment Day with some kendo stick shots of her own.
She wasn't even supposed to be there.
Well, why is Rhea Ripley involved? Why is Rhea
Why the fuck she getting involved in
Why is
business?
Ripley getting involved using the
we all have our chance to talk. Go.
Well,
I'll go after you.
Hang on, we'll go.
I just don't want to be interrupted when I have my chance to talk. But
well, I'm not really talking. I'm just going over the the highlights. I'll give you my thoughts after the highlights then, okay? So Beth attacks Judgment Day with some kendo stick shots. Beth then faces off with Rhea and the two brawl. Beth spears Rhea and then she unlocks the key for Edge. And then Edge spears Damian Priest. And then Dominic starts begging like a little bitch, trying to offer his hand to Edge because he's afraid.
Very unbiased. Huh?
Edge nails a low blow to Dominic. Balor hits a sling blade, but Edge spears Balor 3 times, and I guess this hasn't happened since 2005 or something. Edge applies a crossface, but Rhea Ripley hits Beth Phoenix with brass knuckles, and Damian Priest hits a South of Heaven to Edge. Balor hits a coup de grace 3 times. Balor says, Edge, this is your last chance. Edge, you say it, and Edge says, go to hell. Rhea Ripley then lifts up a lifeless Beth Phoenix. Rhea puts Beth's head in between a chair and basically tells Edge to quit before she nails Beth Phoenix with a concerto shot. So Edge quits, trying to save his wife, which anybody would do. And she ends up, Rhea Ripley, the freak, weird, I don't know what she is.
Savage.
I don't even know. Yeah, savage. I don't even know if she's a lady. Nails a concerto.
Bro, why are you such a
It's a Beth Phoenix.
we have fans here, right? And they're gonna come at you.
Listen, there are fans that are gonna love me, there are fans that are gonna hate me. But at least they're listening. So I think it was a great match, obviously. I'm gonna bust your chops because you busted my chops earlier. Again, would Finn have won if Rhea didn't get involved? I mean, Rhea handcuffed Edge.
Yeah, Finn didn't need Judgment Day to get involved. Even though I mean they're all teams.
But they did. I mean, and they all got involved.
Is it my chance to talk?
Well, hang on, pause. Let me pose the question to you first. Hang on.
Yeesh.
So, my question for you is: A, were you satisfied with the match? B, do you think after Dominic put hands on Rey,
Oh.
do you think that we're gonna get Dominic versus Rey sooner rather than later? And then the last part of it is, would you recommend this to others for 2022 match of the year?
Okay, so part A was my thoughts on the match, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I thought the match was great. It met my expectations. Probably the best match of the night, in my opinion. The I Quit match. I like how they went throughout the whole arena, everything. They went through every little part of the arena that they had. Not the whole arena, but outside the ring.
Yeah.
Very. I think Finn Balor looked great in the match. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it always plays like 2 people in the match. It's not always just Finn. It's always Edge too, making Finn look good. But one thing I want to talk about is that bald spot on Edge's head. Oh my god, you can notice that shit from
I haven't noticed it. I have to look.
That bald. Oh my god.
You want to hear Dory? You said Dory's funny. Dory's like, well, I don't know if it's funny, but we were watching the biography on Edge, and she's like, Edge looks so much better with short hair, and I'm like, I don't know. Edge is a lot.
No, you can notice the bald. You can notice the bald spot more.
I have to look at it. A lot of people think Edge is attractive. I listen. I mean, no homo. I don't see. Anyway,
I'm just saying this to bust your chops, honestly. But no, yeah, I did notice. I knew you wouldn't notice it because you love Edge a lot. But I noticed it was right there. It's like
8 years old. He's getting up there. I mean, he's doing good for a 48-year-old though, dude.
he's wrestling good. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But I don't know. We all have our different opinions about Edge.
I will say
The
though. Go ahead, go ahead. Oh, can I ask you this question though? Because this is on my mind. This is another question. Do you think Edge had a better match with AJ or a better match with Finn? Because this is the first time Edge and Finn have gone at it. And I do notice that I did know that Edge and Styles fought earlier this year. Add that.
I think Edge and Finn had more chemistry.
I agree.
But the match was great, yeah. And I did predict this whole ending in the predictions video. You guys can watch it back, you'll see. I did predict like that something would have to happen with like maybe Edge's family, or you said like something with his daughters. I said something like with Beth Phoenix or something. But you know, it was a good ending. I love how they all got involved because you know they're looking out for Finn. They're all family here. You know, they're all family. They're looking out for their pretty much the leader of Judgment Day, in my opinion. I love the fact Judge
too, Carlos. It made sense for you to be able to, and you know, I think I didn't say exactly what happened, but the same thing is like the daughter, like it would make sense. Like Edge isn't gonna quit unless there's something, and they went along with that. But go ahead, sorry. And then remember, part B was about if you think Dom and Ray are gonna go at it soon.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. So Dominic, I'm applauding you right now. You're stepping up, beating the shit out of your father for all the shit that he put you through over the years. Making you freaking be a 5-year-old going on camera. Then you know you said you didn't want to be on camera at that time. For you know you're stepping up. You're putting your hands on your father. I love that. You gotta show him who's boss around here. The real jefe of the family. He should have continued to beat the shit out of him though. But knowing Ray, he might be a pushy and be like, oh no, he's still my son. I love him. When.
See, yeah, no, I don't. If I was Ray, I'd want Dominic to beat my ass so that Dominic would look even better. But go ahead.
Nah, I think Ray's a little bit of a pussy about it. He's not gonna do anything yet. It's gonna take him a little bit more. It's gonna take a little bit more beatings from Dominic for Ray to be like, you know what, fine. But I don't know. I still think Ray's gonna end up joining Judgment Day. He's gonna be like, can't beat him, join him.
Okay.
I think.
Well.
But honestly, this has nothing to do with anything. But I feel like Dominic would have a better fit in Legado, honestly.
Oh, he might.
He would have had a better fit in Legado than because, like, you know, they're all same heritage. That would have been more like, you know, like Rey Mysterio could have get involved. Maybe Rey Mysterio would return heel to and join them as like the veteran of the group. You know, I feel like that would have been a better fit for Dominic instead of being like with the Goths. I said the Goths. I'm so terrible. I
think they're trying.
But one thing though, I love the fact that Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley, like they went at it for a little bit, like the brawling, like that was freaking insane. I love that part though. Like when they were like when they were punching each other in the face at the same time, that was freaking awesome. Like
and that would be a fair match because they're both like same in stature. They both are dominant women. They're both very muscular. You know, the Glamazon versus the Nightmare. Who wouldn't?
One thing though, what's your problem with like with women that are a little musky? You seem to have something really a problem with Rhea. I would love to see I would love to see you say that shit to her face and see what happens to you.
Oh, I'd get my ass handed to me. I just think that, in my opinion, I don't
female listeners listen well.
In my opinion, this is just me. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's just my opinion.
No, well, we've been talking about the same issue for like a couple weeks.
If I was Dominic, I would not be so attracted to. Because listen, I understand.
Obviously Dominic has a real girlfriend in real life.
I know storyline. But that's exactly my point. Pause. With the storyline, I don't think, in my eyes, and for me, I don't find Rhea attractive. So for the storyline being that Dominic is going to do whatever Rhea says because he slept with her, it's kind of like, okay, cool. But like, she's not that cute. So why are you being so flustered like I'm sprung out to get me over Rhea Ripley? Like she's an amazing athlete. She's an attractive girl, 100%.
Everybody has different opinions, like who they like in females. I mean, you don't have to
I know,
really
but
like.
if real talk, Dominic's real girlfriend has long brown hair, and I know it's fake, but I mean, he's not really. I'm just look, Buddy Matthews is into her. Good for them. They're great, great. And listen, Rhea Ripley's there for a reason. She's a beautiful woman, but I just
No, but
don't
the
think.
fact that you were like, I don't know if she's a man or a
Well,
woman.
I
That
both
that, that,
will.
that was uncalled
I
for.
people would say that
That was
about
uncalled
China's.
for.
Well, I didn't know. I have to look again. So, so the
Also
thing.
uncalled for. I don't know. That
Well,
you didn't really. Some things are better off not even being said. Literally, like,
listen, it's the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, so we're gonna say things that aren't supposed to be said. And I honestly think it takes me 10 times to look at Rhea and realize that she's a man or a woman. See, there you go, Freudian slip. So I just think that I don't know. If it was me, I can't take it seriously because she's not that. It's like she's like genie in a bottle. Oh, I'm gonna do whatever she says. Why? She's like because she's gonna beat me up. Like that's the only thing. She looks like a vampire. Like I would be afraid of her. I wouldn't want to do her. I'd be afraid of her. So I think it's weird that he's like, oh, he's being allured by her. Like, is she a fucking snake like the devil? Like, I'm confused. Like, what is he really into? That's all I'm wondering. Maybe she tells really good jokes. Wow.
yeah, so I'll never understand you.
Tough crowd. I'm gonna ask you this question. I mean, I think we already know the answer, but would you recommend people to watch this match again?
Yeah, for sure. Match of the night. Match of the night. One of the better
They're
IQ
going with the
matches that I've seen.
storyline now, though, Carlos. Like, do you think is this? I mean, obviously they're not done. Edge is gonna come back. Like, this isn't it. But like, do you think we're gonna see maybe at Crown Jewel Beth and Edge versus someone in Rhea? I mean, they might be doing that.
I don't know. I think we already saw. I don't want to really see a mixed tag team match again. I mean, they already
They're
had that one
gonna
mixed tag.
Beth and Rhea are gonna come to blows again, whether they get involved in each other's matches or not.
No, one on one, one on one, one on one.
I agree. I'd like to see that.
Just one on one. No mixed tag. No mixed tag me matches. One on one. Just plain. Just like leave it like that. Maybe
I
have Edge at ring. Maybe have Edge at ringside and somebody at ringside for her. I don't know,
Can I
but
also
I
say
was
something else
see that.
too? Can I say something else too? I also don't like. I agree with you. I'd rather see him be with Legado del Fantasma because he has no chemistry with these people. There's still, for to me, like the only reason that we're getting, aside from him being upset with his dad when he was little, the only thing that we're getting for him joining the group is because Rhea Ripley whispered something to him or that he hooked up with her. And
I'm just glad that Dominic turned heel. That's all I'm worried
I
about.
know, but I just think like he'd be better off being a heel with a Legado del Fantasma or something.
That's what I said.
Yeah, no,
I
I know,
mean,
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. But I'm just I don't like because they're kind of making him be bratty. Like they're bringing up things that are kind of like yeah, I know you're mad that at 5 years old your father made you go on TV, but you were on TV with your uncle and you were having fun. You met the wrestlers. Like it's like the things that he's upset about. They're making it seem bratty. I'd rather him just be like, you know what? I'm my own person. Fuck my dad. I don't care about the past. It's time for me to cement my future. I don't care about I'm Rey Mysterio's son. No, I'm Dominic. Like I will respect that more. But the way they're making him up, he's hiding behind Rhea, he's doing the low blows, and I get it, he's a heel, but not all heels do that. Look at Seth Rollins. Like, yeah, he'll hit you with a low blow, but Seth Rollins usually when you fight will blow with you. Like, I don't know. I just think they need to stop making Dominic look like a baby because they're really doing that.
I
And
don't think they're making him look like a.
I don't even make him look like a baby, but it's like he's looking like a spoiled brat. Like he's looking like, oh, I'm at my dad. Like we have no like other than the what did his dad do to him?
I think he just like disagree with me, so he can start fucking.
No, I want to agree with you. I generally my thought process with this situation is that like yes, I am glad that he's a heel, but I think a good heel is also a believable heel, like Seth Rollins. He he believes that he is the visionary. He believes that he is the best. When you see Seth Rollins, like there's no second guessing with him. And granted, he's been doing it a long time, But with Dominic, it's just like he doesn't seem like a believable. Like you're mad because your dad put you on TV. Seth Rollins is mad because he isn't in the main event of the pay-per-view and he's going to come and take over the show and nail you with a stomp on the US title. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like they're building him up to kind of be like, I'm gonna cry. No, Dominic, fuck up your father. Throw him in the steps, put him through a table, nail him with a sledgehammer. Like,
And that's what he did. He fucked him up last night.
yeah, but even you said it. You said you wish he did a little bit more. Like, I agree. Like, I wish he did. Like,
No, that time is coming. That time is coming. You just gotta be patient.
I'll wait. I'll be patient. And so let's move on. So, the Miz is backstage again, and he attacks the mascot. However, we see Dexter Loomis is behind the Miz, and Loomis puts Miz in the silencer, and he lifts up the mascot, and the mascot kicks the Miz. So Dexter Loomis, again, no matter where the Miz is, he's coming for him. So we are here at the main event. This is the match that pretty much everyone paid to see. We got the special fight pit match with guest referee Daniel Cormier, Matt Riddle taking on Seth Rollins. Oh, wait. Can I just say something really quick? I'm not gonna read all of them because well, I guess I could read most of them. These were some of the quotes of Michael Cole when Dominic attacked his dad. So he goes, "What the hell are you doing, kid? Somebody should smack that kid across the face." He goes, "He's thrown away everything that Ray and Angie have given him over the years. Dominic never wanted as a kid. He was given everything in his life, and now he's being the hell out of his father. Somebody do something about this. What's wrong with you? He's your father, for God's sake." Michael Cole was on point.
I feel like once Vince McMahon like stepped down, like he was kind of left off the leash a little bit.
Oh, and with that match, you and Tyler got points because you both thought Finn Balor was going to win. Yes, I agree. I think that once. I also noticed that they mention a lot of the past champions and a lot of like you would never hear them mentioning Vader versus so and so Sting on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to hear them mention the old wrestlers and
I can imagine like the shit that I can imagine freaking Vince McMahon yelling in Michael Cole's ear, say that, say that, say that, say that, like yelling at him. I can imagine how like the shit that Mike Cole has to be listening to, like because everywhere all the commentators like have an earpiece while they're on commentary. So I can imagine Vince in his freaking head, Vince in his ear, like just yelling at him.
Well, you lose yourself. If I told you everything to say, you wouldn't be Carlos Caribbean Cool. You would be Anthony's version of Carlos Caribbean Cool. And so
Michael Cole, I feel like it's like he's left off the leash and he feels more comfortable.
Yes, 100%. And like you said, you definitely can see it. So before the match starts, we see NXT champion Braun Breaker in the crowd. Seth Rollins came out in Rob Van Dam gear. Fun fact about that, they're in Philadelphia. Obviously, Philadelphia is the home of ECW. Rob Van Dam, a huge star there. But also, Rob Van Dam is one of Matt Riddle's favorite wrestlers. So Seth Rollins is always playing mind games with his opponents. Let's go over this match quick. Matt Riddle springboards off the cage with an enziguri to Seth Rollins. Matt Riddle ends up going to attack Rollins, and he ends up grabbing Daniel Cormier. Cormier ends up grabbing Riddle and says, "Don't put your hands on me." Riddle applies a triangle choke. Rollins with a thumb to the eye, and he tosses Matt Riddle into the cage. Rollins then stomps away at Riddle, and Cormier pulls back Rollins and says, "Don't mess with me." So Cormier is playing fair right now. Rollins sends Riddle hard into the cage. Rollins with 2 super kicks and blows to the back of Riddle's head. Rollins suplexes Matt Riddle onto the cage, and then Rollins does a really cool climb and springboard off the top with a frog splash onto Riddle. And then this is cool. Riddle nailed an RKO. Riddle goes for another RKO, but Rollins nails a stomp. Rollins climbs to the top of the pit. Riddle climbs up after him. Rollins slams Riddle's head onto the cage and then nails a buckle bomb to Matt Riddle on top of the pit against the steel cage. Rollins then nails a pedigree on top of the platform of the pit. That was a huge move. Riddle then nails then I'm sorry, Riddle nails an RKO on the platform, and Rollins falls down to the mat. Riddle nails a floating bro from the top of the pit to Seth Rollins, and then the ending comes after Rollins applies a triangle choke. Not Rollins, sorry, Riddle applies a triangle choke to Seth Rollins, and Rollins taps. Matt Riddle gets the victory. Um, Myself and Tyler thought Riddle was going to win. What were your thoughts on the match, and would you recommend this match for others to watch?
The match was okay, not the best. I feel like the only reason was it wasn't really the best because like it was Seth Rollins' first time in a fight pit match. Maybe he was still it took some time for him to get used to it, you know. But there were some spots in there. He did a senton off the top of the cage, which I think Liv Morgan did it better off the top rope. But that's another story. Um, um, the match was okay. But like people kept on like hyping up that man Cornier, whatever his name is. He just looked like a fat guy who just wanted, who
He
just they
really
just
didn't
found,
do much. He was just there.
who they just found in the streets, and like said, "Oh, you want to be referee? Sure." That man looked like he was like overweight. And then like if they're being right about saying it's gonna be Brock Lesnar versus him, Brock Lesnar's gonna fuck him up and plus more. Just saying.
So, what do you think about do you think other people should watch this?
Um, it's if you want to see a fight pit match for the first time, yes, but there has been better fight pit matches than this before.
All right, let's talk about this. We don't have much time left in our episode, so let's just quickly talk about this moment that everybody has been waiting for. The match ends, Riddle's on the stage, and the lights go out, and Michael Cole's like, "Are we still on the air? Are we still on the air?" He's playing it up. Um, we hear someone singing, "He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands," and then we see Husky the Pig, and these are all people dressed up. Husky the Pig, we see Mercy the Buzzard, we see the Rabbit, we see Abby the Witch, and then we see the Fiend's head. I think it's the Fiend's head on the announce table, and then we see the Fiend. We then get a shot of the old Firefly Funhouse set. It's destroyed. Every character is done. We see a new mask appear, and then there's a TV screen. It goes, it's going off. You see a really weird face with the mask show up. We see a really cool looking door. It's very like foresty, and the door is kicked open, and we see someone walk out with a mask, and we know obviously you could tell who it is. And he comes out with a lantern. This person takes off the mask, and it is Bray Wyatt. And he doesn't say anything. He just takes off the mask and he blows out the lantern, and we get the really cool image at the end of it of the logo for Bray. So, Carlos, we have less than a minute. What were your thoughts on this? This is crazy.
I was in shock that he came. I mean, I wasn't in shock because I feel like I knew that was going to happen, which is like when it was going to happen. But I just want to see what's going to go down from here. Like, what's going to happen now? Is he going to be on Raw or SmackDown? Who's he targeting? If he's going to have other people join his group or not, we'll just have to wait and see what goes down from here.
I can't wait, man. Moment
But
of
one thing, though, he looked like he gained a lot of weight.
well, it was hard to kind of see because it was dark. I mean, we'll have
No, but I could tell he looked like he gained so much weight. That's when I don't know. In my that's just me. I don't know. I don't know.
to.
I heard that he did fail like he did fail his physicals that he had. Like that's why they didn't have him attack someone. That's
Yeah.
why they had him just do that. But yeah, no, we'll just have to wait and see when he's gonna like actually debut back in the ring. What's gonna happen with him? There's so many questions.
Yo, I'm Ant, and you're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things pro wrestling related.
What's up, guys? Carlos being cool here. And you almost forgot to mention, make sure they follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever podcasts are streaming.
I sure didn't. I wouldn't want to do that. So thank you, Carlos. Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe now. Let's get back to the show, everybody. We are back. Sorry about that, everybody. Our recording ended as Carlos was in the middle of talking. So, Carlos, jump right back in, brother. Go ahead. Tell us what your thoughts were on
Yeah,
Bray
Like
Wyatt.
I was saying, like I just want to see what's going to go down from here. Now, like now we have him back. We have him locked back into the company. He can't go anywhere anymore. We'll just have to see where they're gonna go with this. Well, so, and I feel like the reaction that he got was way bigger than CM Punk. That when CM Punk returned, like you could hear that crowd. That crowd went nuts when they saw his face.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I when I also myself saw him, I got excited too. Um, because he's awesome, like
He has such a creative mind for the business.
he's awesome. Um,
He's awesome.
he's awesome. But no, I thought he was cool. Um, and for me, I've always loved Bray Wyatt. I just was so into the whole entire um introduction of him, the way that they just kept it sort of like quiet. We're trying to guess who it is. I mean, we kind of all knew who it was, but they didn't make it super, super obvious who it was. So I was happy with that. And just his introduction, the way he came out, the way they had all the other like different characters from the Firefly Funhouse. It was very, very cool. And I enjoyed that moment. So I really, really, really liked it. Um, but yeah, so overall, give me your final thoughts on the show. What do you think about Extreme Rules 2022?
It was good enough for it was a good show. I'm enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, a 7.5. I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
It's just because that Liv Morgan thing kind of like got me down and kind of ruined it for me a little bit.
That put a damper on you. Well, I can understand.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We had a great time recapping
why
WWE.
why don't why don't you give them a 10? What didn't you like about the show?
Oh, what didn't I like about it? Um, Good question. I felt like there were a couple of things, like
They
for
could have done
example,
better.
I'm corny. Like I would like to have a new stage set up.
Oh yeah, I know how you are. And I know you are.
But also as far as like the matches, they were good. I feel like the women's matches were a bit lackluster, and I was surprised because I thought they would have a bit more to them with it being like those were the only titles on the line too. So I thought they were gonna be a bit more to it. But I guess, like beggars can't be choosers. I thought it was a great pay-per-view.
But
And I'm
I think about it though, like there were no bloodline members on the show. That obviously proves that we don't need the bloodline all the time on pay-per-views.
no, that's true. I mean, in the bloodline, I don't know if they'll be happy to know that, but
No, I love the bloodline. I'm just saying because like the bloodline's not gonna be together forever because obviously you can see the cracks in the bloodline that's happening right now. So I mean, eventually they're gonna like all break up and go do their own thing again. But they're just preparing. I think this is like they're preparing us for us to like see what would a pay per view be like without any members of the bloodline on the show.
well, listen,
We
uh,
we always the ones though. Always.
we the ones. Well, you the twos, we the ones.
I'm the two. You're the two.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, sorry, no, because I'm laughing because I'm thinking of just the whole incident on SmackDown where
Oh, you're the biggest number two of them all.
yeah, yeah. So well, you're not the number two, Carlos. You're number one, and so is everybody for listening. We will be back with our WWE Raw recap coming soon. We're excited for that. But our next pay-per-view prediction and review episode will be for WWE. Well, actually, will be for NXT Halloween Havoc. Getting ahead of myself, and then it will be WWE Crown Jewel. But yeah,
Then Survivor Series most likely will me and Ann will be in the studio together watching it. So
yes, please let's make it happen. So you guys have a good night. Be safe, and we hope you enjoyed Extreme Rules. It only happens one time a year. So yeah, Carlos, any last words?
that's everything, guys. Feed your head. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Your head, and I'm excited to see what happens. Feed your head. Have a good night. Bye.